What's going on? Hey, Cancer, I got you all far away here. Can you hear me now, Cancer? What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling exceptional today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just phenomenal, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. I tell you, every time I put this hoodie on thinking I'm so cold, and then as soon as I get started, I get hot, Cancer. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. So, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, wherever, Cancer. Ooh, let me get myself together. You just be along for the ride there, Cancer. This one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based on our ruler here, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void. Of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. Ooh, everything's just getting all caught up, Cancer. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one. Oh wait, yes. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you. I'm still a lot of swords, Cancer. Take what resonates with you. Leave the rest with me. Never force reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. And I partly knew that was going to happen, but I was like, no, maybe this time will be different. And it hasn't been different the last three times that I did it. So, but Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just wonderful energy all around here, Cancer. Hey, Cancer, happy Mars Day. It's Tuesday. Mars rules over Tuesday. Hope you're feeling energetic, ready to take some action there. But if you're not, Cancer, that's cool. Because maybe there's not the energy for it, because the moon is going void of course today. And the moon is going to go void of course at about 1:24 p.m. That'll be Eastern time. Thank you. And she'll be moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn at about 8:33 p.m. So we're looking at about a 7-hour, 9-minute void of course time there, Cancer. And the void of course energy happens when the moon forms her final aspect with the planet in that sign, and just kind of drifts off and wanders, just sort of does her own thing for a little bit. And she invites you to do the same. Just kind of check in with yourself, Cancer, and see where your energies are at. Good energy for cleansing your energies, and doing some meditation, maybe doing some breath work, maybe getting out in nature, maybe working with some sounds, or maybe different scents, or maybe even exploring how different even different foods and maybe seasonings and things may affect could heal the body there, Cancer. But being a sign that is as sensitive and as emotional as we are, we can absorb the energies of others pretty easily there, Cancer. So we just want to make sure we check in to see what is ours and what is theirs, and just kind of make sure we separate from the energies that aren't ours. So, and also to Cancer, you may notice that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes during this time, and also that people are less likely to make decisions during this period of time. So just something to be mindful of there. And then we are in that balsamic moon in Sagittarius still there, Cancer. And with this energy, this really is about kind of reflecting on the bigger picture in life, kind of really kind of questioning maybe your beliefs, your philosophies, and just like seeing what things maybe need to be released. Maybe there's this, because Sagittarius on a lower vibration can be a little dogmatic, can be a little strict, like they know what's the best route. But I feel too that this is, yeah, seeing where we've been a little inflexible there, Cancer, and where we've hindered our growth in a sense, and clear space for that so that we can receive this new downloads from the between that sun and moon relationship going into the next lunar cycle there, Cancer. Because I'm reading this book right now, and I like how they talk about the relationship between the sun and the moon, that The moon doesn't rotate, doesn't change. The only thing that's changing is how she's receiving the light from the sun. And we can't necessarily look directly at the sun, all the time there, Cancer, but we can gaze at the moon, and do things like that. So I feel the moon helps kind of process what the sun wants us to learn, and they work in this harmonious relation. The moon aspects happen so fast, too. It's like these sort of unconscious downloads and how we process that stuff in our sleep there, Cancer. But so I really feel like this is a great time to just kind of just do kind of some checking in. And also, this waning crescent energy is a time for rest and relaxation to their, Cancer, to recuperate from whatever changes and process these energies that you just went through, and then taking these new insights into this next new moon, into these next set of challenges that are getting ready to come your way there, Cancer. Yeah, I like this. I feel like this can be a very almost like a hindsight is 2020 type of energy with the Sagittarius. And I feel too Sagittarius is a very honest sign too, Cancer. So finding where we've may not have where we may have sold ourselves short, or where we may not been, where we know that we can bring it a bit more. And it's just like, how do we do that, and incrementally working towards that. So something to think about. But then, last few things, Cancer. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below, some links for some other readers that I like watching their, Cancer, so check them out. They have some very amazing insights. I think you would really enjoy them. But also there's some links for some astrologers that I like watching as well, and some tools for some different like apps that I'm going to start adding on to that as time goes on there, Cancer. So definitely check that out for updates there, Cancer. But let's go ahead and get into your general energy of the day. Ooh, look, and I fantastic, Cancer. I feel like this is very nice going into this as we get towards the end of this energy, because you have the affirmation for growth here, and that's basically what this energy is about. Because Sagittarius is, being Jupiter ruled, they're about expansion. They're about this wisdom, elevating consciousness. And I feel this is I love this. Look at this little cat over here planting these seeds. And that's what the new moon is about. And I remember listening to I think it was a podcast not too long ago, and I liked how this person talked about, ooh, interesting, Cancer. I'm looking at her necklace. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But she was talking about how the new moon isn't necessarily the forcing of starting something new. It's a it's what do we feel intuitively that we're where we want to grow, and being receptive to where that is leading you in a sense. It's clearing this, it's clearing the space and doing some weed, and doing some de-weeding in a sense, and find areas that you've been kind of restricted so that we can plant these new things, Cancer. And remembering too, I feel like how she's got this vase here with this little plant that's growing there, is being patient with this energies and with ourselves there, Cancer. That growth is something that doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time. And I feel even when you think about when you first plant a seed, you're watering this stuff, and you're doing, giving it the sunlight and things like that. And you may not see the process at first, but you do know that there is something that's happening. And then when that first sprout does pop up, that's really exciting there, Cancer. And I feel like that's how I feel the moon wants you to go about this journey, and going about it with this, like, this optimism that Sagittarius brings in. And but one thing I want to talk about too, Cancer, because that's really cool. I'm looking at this person's necklace. And if this may not be what it is, but it reminds me of the symbol for the North Node. And the North Node is our, almost like our destiny, our calling to, what our soul wants to achieve during this lifetime here, Cancer. And so there may be even a focus too, to see, are we aligning with our North Node? How is that energy even looking like? For example, Cancer, my North Node is in Capricorn in the 6th house. And so routines and day-to-day experiences like the jobs and things like that all tie in together with that. And then how does that look going into Capricorn energy, that energy of accomplishments and prestige and success and things like that? And how do I make that, it's like how does my routine and stuff help me grow into that kind of Capricorn type of energy, and like getting out from the home space where my South Node is in Cancer, because South Node in Cancer can be a very intuitive energy, but it could suggest that maybe got a little lost in that sort of intuitive space maybe last go round. So now it's time to take that stuff from taking it from being internal to making it more external for being seen, because Capricorn, they're associated with the 10th house, which is the midheaven, which is the highest point in the chart that everyone sees you as. So but I like this, Cancer. Let me get some tarot on this and get some details. Oh, and there's Big Papa. I'm with it. That's a strong start there, Cancer. Because absolutely. But hold on, Cancer. Let me get the rest of this. Oh. Thank you. All right, Cancer. Oh. Ha! How, Cancer, you couldn't sync up with the energies anymore if you tried. So you have the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, Temperance, Sagittarius, the Fool, Uranus, the Ace of Swords, and the Page of Wands here. And so I really feel like this is because the Wheel of Fortune can be this sort of spiritual type of guidance type of energy. There's this, the Wheel of Fortune is a card, can be a card of cycles, and I feel like how spirit guides you through all of these cycles here, and how do we maintain this sense of temperance in all of these, in the face of the successes and the challenges of life there, Cancer. And I feel too that sometimes though, with growth, because it does require so much work, that we can feel maybe a little nervous or not wanting to necessarily do that, or we may even feel maybe even a little uncertain with where these intuitive insights are might trying to be bringing us into here. We might notice that we may be feeling this kind of antsy type of energy that something needs to change, but it's just like the messages are still kind of foggy is what I might be getting for some of you. And if that's the case there, Cancer, I feel like this is a perfect time over these next couple days, especially leading up to this new moon, to just ask yourself, Cancer, what it is, and be honest. What is it that what areas do you want to grow, and what areas do you know you could grow that are getting in the way of your growth, so that we can so that we can clear out this space in order to get a clear understanding of where these energies are trying to guide you, to find the source of these blockages that are happening. And I feel as we start to trust in the growth, Cancer, and trust in this guidance that's coming through, this full energy is going to open up different opportunities for you, different things to try there. And I feel to be adventurous with where you feel like you want to grow there, Cancer. Maybe you've been wanting to travel more, or whatever that's looking like, because they're seeing with like kind of Sagittarian themes there. Maybe you wanted to go back to school, or just even take up maybe a course of learning, maybe invest in like a master class, or some sort of maybe like online course or something like that. But I do definitely feel, especially as we're getting to this new moon in Capricorn energy, and considering too their Cancer, that when that new moon is happening, it's forming a trine with Uranus on that day. So I feel like that's going to be an energy of kind of believing in the impossible, seeing something in a new kind of way, like really reflecting on where we can grow and expand. And then Page of Wands, going with that excitement, that sense of adventure, and seeing where this growth leads you. And I feel like, tracking your progress along the way there, Cancer, maybe kind of journaling any sort of like significant moments, or just to kind of keep back so you can look back to see where you've been as opposed to where to where you are now. It's interesting. Sometimes I will, and I haven't done that in a little while, but I remember there was a time, sometimes I'd look back at some of my older videos and just sort of be like, yeah, like there's been a lot of growth from when I started to where I'm at now. And there is this really kind of sense of fulfillment there, and this sense of like, I don't know, growth and abundance that's come through there. And yeah, but I do feel like this is a definite time here with this Ace of Swords to really kind of clarify your intentions, be truthful with what you want, and then, kind of check in with your higher self, see where these energies are. What gets you inspired, what gets you, maybe you wanted to start a new workout routine, maybe you wanted to start a garden, maybe you wanted to, maybe grow your own crops there, Cancer. But yeah, I like this energy here, Cancer. This is a fantastic start. Let's get some more on this, Cancer. But also too, just with temperance, because that can be a card of moderation, just being mindful of where we might be kind of overindulging there, Cancer. We want to make sure that we're working smart and we're playing smart as well, so we don't get to these energies of extremes here. But all right, Cancer. Let's see what else is going on here. All right, so you have the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords here, Cancer. And with this Eight of Swords, I do feel this is like asking yourself again, where do you find that you've been feeling restricted, or have there been others that may have been restricting our energies? Because the Eight of Pentacles can, well, the Eight of Pentacles can be this self-imposed prison, but it can also too, you can adopt the thoughts of others and then make them as your own, in order to, then it keeps you kind of locked into that place there too, Cancer. Get you, are there energies that are keeping you in this sort of like lack mentality or kind of poverty mindset, that there's never enough, like I need, just need more of this, if only I had more of that, or more of this and more of that, just more and more and more, as opposed to appreciating the growth process that you have gone through here, that you have gone through thus far there, Cancer. And I do feel that it is realizing with the Five of Pentacles too, because this can be it can be a kind of a really kind of tough card here, feeling like that, like maybe for some it's like I'm getting this this message of maybe we see everyone else seems to be getting their wheel of fortune, or maybe they're finding their calling, but you're feeling kind of left alone in all of this, like the energies haven't been moving for you as fast as you would like. But I feel when you start noticing those things that are Cancer, that's when we need to pause and really kind of get into that Queen of Wands energy. How can we reinvigorate these things? What actions can we take to get these energies moving again? But realizing too that we can't force this stuff as well. These things do take time, and the growth will happen a lot faster than you think. But I just, again, I don't feel like it's something that can be rushed in a sense. And I do feel that that's interesting too, that Cancer. I even feel for some, as you're working on this growth, that there may even be this support, because the Eight of Wands can be this card of messages as well, and I feel like there might even be this sort of like supportive energy that might be kind of rooting you on there, Cancer. And I feel like it's paying attention to those who have been giving you messages, positive affirmations for your growth, in a sense, that keep you going. But I do feel with the Queen of Wands, because I was like, she's an interesting little, she's throwing an interesting energy into this pocket, because I do feel like it's not just jumping into any one thing, like, oh well, everyone seems to be doing this, so let me try that. No, it's more so, it's just like the Queen of Wands for me is Aries energy, and Aries is a very strong self confidence. They're very assured in who they are, and that's why I feel like the Queen of Wands is asking you to be, to face your dragons there, Cancer, and learning to work with your situations and things, because everyone's growth looks very different. We're all trying to become a mighty tree, but the process that it takes to get there is very different. And sometimes it's been too, because we're all different types of trees there, Cancer. Some grow faster, some grow slower, but it's, I feel with the Queen of Wands, it's like, remember not to lose that zest, or that lust for life in the face of growth. Even because, again, growth can take a long time, and the dispositor of this moon placement is Jupiter, which is in Taurus, and Taurus is a bit, is a slow moving sign. It's Taurus wants to build that long term security there. Doesn't want to just jump on any old thing. They want to make sure that there's going to be some stability there. So yeah, just something to think about there, Cancer. But let's go ahead and get some advice from Big Papa here. Love that. All right. Thank you. All right, Cancer. Last little bit here. Oh. Hmm. So you have the Moon card, the Judgment card, the Star card, the Knight of Cups, and the Three of Swords here, Cancer. And let's switch back over. Because I feel with this energy, Cancer, that maybe for some, the Three of Swords can be kind of a depressive or depressing type of energy. Maybe for some, we've been feeling this state of melancholy, this state of uncertainty, we feel these changes that are happening in these energies, even if we don't necessarily follow astrology. We're just noticing that there is something changing, because that's something I've even been noticing and interacting with others, that they know that there's this thing, there's something happening, but it's just like, what do you do with that energy is what matters. And I feel like it's seeing through the illusion that, or I even feel more so with this moon card, it's about, it's sort of like waking up from this kind of dream space in a way, because the moon card can be this sort of illusory type of deceptive type of energy there. But I feel that once we start, because there might even be something here with the star card that might be hindering our growth, something that may have happened to us here recently, or just may have been kind of accumulating over time there, Cancer. Maybe things are finally coming to a head there. We're reaching one of those type of maybe crisis points, in a sense, where we're having this sort of like this I don't want to say panic, but it's just like this anxiety that may be kind of going on here, Cancer. And I feel that the Knight of Cups here is is asking you to follow your heart there, Cancer, and listen to the tune that the universe is trying to get you to follow there. With this Judgment card, this can be a card of rebirth and transcendence, and needing to let go of whatever, maybe this Five of Pentacles, Three of Swords, making peace with that, so that we can evolve into this newer version of you, Cancer, the stronger version of you. And so, this is, I feel like, a really great time, again, these next couple of days, to really be kind of considering this stuff. Where do you want to grow? And then take it lunar cycle by lunar cycle. We don't have to, you don't have to rush these things, Cancer, because I feel too, sometimes with New Year's resolutions and things, like, I feel like I get it, but I feel like sometimes that can kind of set people up for failure, because you want to do all of the things, and then it's like you'll start up all this stuff, and then after you have a good spurt for like a couple of weeks, and then one thing falls by the wayside, and then something changes to your schedule, then another thing happens, and oh, I'll pick this up, and another thing, and then when you probably pick that, that sort of domino effects happening. Then we're juggling too many things, and they're falling all over the place there, Cancer. And so I feel like this is, because that's kind of what I was even feeling with the Queen of Wands too. There again, like, not rushing this process, this growth here, and really kind of sitting with how these changes are going on inside of you, Cancer. And then I feel like that's where the magic starts happening, when your potential starts to unlock there, where we start getting getting a clearer understanding, Ace of Swords, of these divine kind of intuitive downloads that we're getting from our higher selves, however you connect with Source, and then start manifesting them here, Cancer. So, be thinking about ways that you may have been restricting yourself, that you may be been in, again, like, kind of maybe in this dogmatic energy that we're talking about with on the lower vibration of Sagittarius, and how can we embody more of those kind of higher vibrational aspects of that sign there. So I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. A little something to think about. But if you like that, Cancer, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer, because growth looks differently on everyone. And I feel it's like we all just kind of sharing our experiences through this journey can help someone along there. It's like what I tell you at the beginning, you take what resonates with you and leave the rest with them. But sometimes sharing in these things and having these deeper conversations can lead to these intuitive, like, kind of insights. And even just one more thing, but I'm just kind of feeling with this Knight of Cups too here, Cancer, allowing yourself to kind of be vulnerable with maybe not knowing where you want to go, and accept, like allowing that sort of release in a sense, like instead of like force, like, oh, I got to figure it out, like, no, you know what, I don't actually know what I'm doing, but let me sit with that. We don't just stay in that, like, oh, I don't know, well, whatever. No, you get inquisitive about that. Okay, so I like this, I like that, just kind of playing on and building off of that, Cancer. And then subscribe there, you star. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each day. And then last little bit, check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus for your readings there, Cancer. Just check your whole chart there. You learn a lot about yourself there. Where's your so I was talking about that North Node. Where's your North Node at there, Cancer? And then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos, monthly ones, yearly ones. I'm in the middle of the monthly ones right now there, Cancer, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. Ooh, so I can get you out of here. And that's I think the second time this has happened, Cancer. I did a few readings today, and this combination has come up. Forgot who else got this. I want to say maybe Leo got this. But you got the Death card here. And this is a card of change. Do we want to, and I like that there are these doors here, Cancer. Do we want to keep going through, I feel like every time we get to a checkpoint, Cancer, it's just like, do we want to keep going through the same door that we've always go through, kind of doing the same old stuff? And it's one thing if the energies are working there, but I feel like recognizing too when it's time to adjust, and not to be so fixated on one thing, and see where new opportunity is opening up for you there, because we are in this energy kind of release, but it's not just surrendering things to, it's clearing the space to welcome in more abundance. In a sense, we have to give in order to receive, and it creates this beautiful dance with the universe that happens. And it's, this really kind of nice relationship that goes on there between you and the energy. So, and just thinking about the ways that we may have been resisting growth there, Cancer. But let me get your other oracle card from this deck here, and I will get you out of here. Ooh, and that's interesting, Cancer. So you have the Radical Acceptance card here, and this is a card of embrace non-judgment and release control. And I like that, embrace non-judgment. You have the Judgment card here, because it's not about judging where you're at. It's about it's acknowledging that this is where I'm at on my journey. These are the things I can control. These are the things out. And not even just focus on the things that I can't control. Focus on the things that you can control, because where a situation may happen to us, we may not be able to control that, but we can control how we feel about a certain situation, and so that it doesn't take up our energy, so we can channel that somewhere else. And I do feel like it is being kind to yourself, Cancer, not judging, where you're at on this process, not being, as far along as others are, or even too, judging others for not being where you're at, Cancer. That could be something as well there, it happens. But it is remembering that things do happen in divine timing, and accepting that, growth requires patience, but patience isn't just, that enduring through stuff there, Cancer. It is, what do we do in that time where we're waiting? How are we filling up that space in between there? So, all right, I'm going to leave that there, Cancer. But you stay safe out there. All this growth that's happening for you, Cancer. I like that. And you keep eyes on the moon. I mean, this is get a little difficult now. She's almost at her point, but feel the energies there, Cancer. Get intuitive there. I dig this energy, and I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.